The Unscripted Earth, a 15-hour wildlife narrative. Part 1. The Water's Edge, Absolute Power and the Gamble, Hours 0 to 2. The Waterhole, Edge of Life, 1:00:00. In the dry season, thirst narrows choices and every path funnels to shrinking pools. The waterhole becomes both a lifeline and a trap, stalked by thirst and policed by teeth. Here, it doesn't matter if you are a herbivore or an apex predator. Crocodiles strike at anything that crosses their path. In the glare of the sun, a crocodile is just another shadow stitched to the mud. They hunt with patience, not speed. The strike is the only fast part, a single surge that turns flat water into a breaking wave. The attacker erupts from mere inches away, clamps high, and whips the body to flip weight into the water. Dust becomes spray and panic becomes drag. For observers, it's brutal. For the hunter, it's a month's meal banked on relentless repetition. The river collects tolls from the greedy and the unlucky, and nobody argues with a taxman made of armor. Powerhouse of the wild, bison dominance, 2:00:00. The physics of survival can shift in an instant. Leaving the watery arena, we find a different kind of authority, the undisputed powerhouse of the plains. Bison don't just graze, they dominate. They take on wolves, rhinos, bears, and even humans, proving they are the ultimate force of the wild. In the frozen wilderness, a relentless wolf pack locks onto a herd, chasing for hours, risking deadly kicks to the chin. A lone wolf, driven by hunger, lunges for the legs of an opponent 10 times its size. The bison kicks back with bone-crushing force, sending the wolf tumbling into the snow, yet the predator clings to its resolve. This power earns respect, even from the largest predators. See the grizzly bear running up a hill like there's no tomorrow, pursued by a charging bison. This is the unforgiving cost of life in the wild: respect distance or suffer the broken bones. Part 2. Strategy and Adaptation, Hours 2 to 5. Apex Strategy, the Calculated Strike, 3:00:00. Beyond brute strength, the natural world demands unmatched intelligence and cunning. We turn now to the masters of the silent strike. The hunt is a calculated decision. Not all are about brute force. We delve into the precision of the world's most effective solitary hunters, the sheer physics of their success, the cheetah's spring-like spine, the leopard's master of camouflage and tree-climbing strength, and the crocodile's ancient patience and sudden, terrifying movement. Deep Dive, the crocodile's anatomy of attack, 4:00:00. We return to the water's edge to analyze the biomechanics of a perfect predator. The crocodile's success is a ruthless, evolutionary math problem. Some crocodiles hunt like battering rams, others like conveyor belts. A Nile heavyweight will pin a gazelle with a casual clamp, then manipulate the carcass headfirst, using gravity and water to fold limbs in. What looks impossible becomes a slow-motion vanish as jaws hinge and neck muscles ripple. The river accepts the offering without a ripple wider than a dinner plate. Evolution had millions of tries to perfect this quiet horror. When larger prey like a wildebeest fights for 15 grinding minutes, a larger croc arrives and ends the math. With one precision bite, it crushes the skull, silencing everything but the water. In predator terms, it's efficiency. Cross-predator confrontations, 5:00:00. The waterhole is a truce zone until it isn't. When predators meet predators, it is a conversation, and the punctuation is expensive. A pack of wild dogs, hungry and electric, will sweep the shoreline, testing the limits of a sunning crocodile. They edge in, testing if presence can push a reptile, but the crocodile will slide an inch, no rush, just a reminder. Momentum betrays the pack when hunger overrides caution. They pour into the channel, and the crocodile strikes from the angle no on. Even rules bend. Sometimes a hippo, herbivore by textbook, muscles into the scrum and begins mouthing flesh. Scarcity or curiosity can blur the lines, capturing the edges of animal behavior where rules bend. And sometimes, The swamp records an old argument between design philosophies, like the elemental contest between the crocodile and the python. Part 3. Environments and Social Structure, Hours 5 to 9. Extreme Adaptations, Desert and Arctic Survival, 6:00:00. As the terrain shifts, so too must the creatures that inhabit it. From the scorching dunes to the frozen north, survival hinges on adaptations few humans can even imagine. Explore the astonishing ways life finds a foothold where others cannot. The seasonal coat change of the Arctic fox, the massive, radiating ears of the fennec fox, which act as a cooling mechanism, and the unique ability of desert animals to tolerate extreme dehydration. We also dive into the perpetual darkness of the deep sea, where creatures use bioluminescence, light, as a lure and a defense. The social fabric, herd and pack dynamics, 7:30:00. For many, the greatest defense is unity. The strength of the individual is amplified by the power of the group. We examine the complex, intricate societies that govern the natural world. Community is crucial for survival. We study the African elephant's matriarchal society, guided by the wisdom and collective memory of the oldest female. The wolves exhibit rigid hierarchy and disciplined hunting coordination, where teamwork isn't just for the hunt, it's for the escape. And the meerkats maintain a system of constant sentries, ensuring the next generation thrives through vigilance and shared responsibility. The aquatic realm, rivers and oceans, global, 9:00:00. We follow the current to the world's largest habitat, expanding our view of the aquatic realm. Here, the pressures of survival manifest in deep blue silence and torrential river currents. The ocean and its rivers host a. Part 4. Ingenuity and Complex Worlds, Hours 9 to 12. Evolution's Engineers, Builders and Innovators, 10:30:00. We turn our gaze to the silent innovators, the natural world's greatest architects and engineers. These are the creatures whose intelligence and instinct combine to shape their environment, building structures that rival human constructions. The ability to manipulate the environment is the ultimate sign of intelligence. The Beaver's Dam, an architectural marvel that completely alters the landscape. Termite mounds rise silent power. This is the world of the invertebrates. Explore the complexity of ant colonies, where millions function as a single entity, following a strict division of labor. We observe the precise ambush of the praying mantis, whose strike is faster than the human eye can register. We descend into the burrow of the tarantula, a patient, seismic hunter that feels the world through vibrations in the soil. And we examine the true natural wonder of spider silk, stronger than steel by weight, used for trapping, transport, and defense. The skies above, flight and migration, 13:30:00. We look up to the third dimension of the wild. The skies above are pathways of incredible endurance, where aerodynamics and instinct govern life's greatest journeys. We follow the Arctic Tern on the longest migration of any animal, a yearly journey from pole to pole. We study the intricate, synchronized movements of a starling murmuration, a defensive display governed by simple rules. Hours 13 to 15. Australasia's unique isolation, 14:45:00. Our final expedition takes us to the lands shaped by isolation, continents that carved their own evolutionary path, resulting in creatures found nowhere else on Earth. We explore the efficient locomotion of the kangaroo, the sheer power of its legs driving it across vast distances. We delve into the specialized diet and lethargic existence of the koala, perfectly adapted to a toxic diet. We observe the raw, unsentimental scavenging of the Tasmanian devil and the sheer predatory dominance of the Komodo dragon, a living relic whose powerful bite and toxic bacteria command the small islands it inhabits. The Final Reflection, 15:00:00. From the plains of Africa to the frozen polar seas, every charge, feint, and narrow escape is a coin toss with teeth. Nothing here is scripted. The wild writes footnotes in blood and silt. The world of wildlife is a constant, humbling testament to ingenuity, adaptation, and the relentless will to survive. The cycle never ends. As the sun sets on this landscape, a new chapter of the natural world begins. Thank you for looking closer. Part 6. Advanced Dynamics, Intelligence and Rare Collaborations, hours 10:30 to 12:50. 10:30:00, 12:50:00. Our journey has taken us through brute force and silent strategy. But the true complexity of the wild often lies in the most unexpected places, in acts of advanced intelligence, rare collaboration, and unique problem-solving. Intelligence in the wild is often measured not by size, but by the ability to adapt and innovate. Dolphin hunting rings. Observe the astonishing coordination of dolphins, who use teamwork not just for chase, but to create tools. They will use their tails to stir up mud on the seafloor, creating a circular net that forces fish to leap out of the water and directly into the waiting mouths of the pod. This level of synchronized, calculated planning rivals any human military maneuver. Elephant empathy and memory. The elephant society is built on unmatched memory. They remember migration routes spanning decades and react to the skeletal remains of their own kind with reverence, showing complex emotional intelligence that defies simple instinct. They communicate with infrasound, their calls traveling kilometers through the earth and air, coordinating their movements and warning of distant dangers. Interspecies warnings. Sometimes collaboration crosses species lines. Baboons, with their excellent eyesight from high ground, will often sound alarm calls that are heeded by antelopes grazing below. This reciprocal, unofficial warning system maximizes survival for both species, the eyes on the height protecting the ears on the ground. The use of fire. We examine the rare phenomenon of firehawk raptors in Australia. Birds of prey, such as the black kite, have been documented deliberately picking up smoldering sticks from grass fires and dropping them onto unburnt terrain to flush out prey, using fire as a hunting tool, a chilling and profound display of intelligent, adaptive behavior. Part 7. Long-term survival, ecosystem balance and disruption, hours 1250 to 1500 hours. 12:50:00, 15:00:00. For all the drama of the hunt, the long-term health of the wild rests on balance, restoration, and the relentless struggle against disruption. We look now at the forces that sustain and sometimes threaten the delicate web of life. Every species plays a critical, if often unseen, role in maintaining the ecosystem's equilibrium. Keystone species. Consider the sea otter. By consuming sea urchins, they prevent the overgrazing of kelp forests. Without them, the entire kelp ecosystem collapses. They're a keystone, supporting an entire world on their small shoulders. Similarly, the role of vultures as nature's sanitation crew prevents the spread of disease, making their health essential to every mammal below. The scavenger's role. We look at the often maligned scavengers, the hyenas and jackals. Their efficiency in cleaning carcasses ensures that vital nutrients are quickly returned to the soil, preventing stagnation and fueling new growth. In the wild, there is no waste, only energy waiting to be repurposed. The impact of the invasive. The introduction of non-native species can shatter centuries of balance. We revisit the Florida Everglades where the native alligator now faces the invasive Burmese python. The alligator surfaces with the python in its jaws, reminding us that even in modern parks, wild systems self-correct in blunt, unsentimental ways. The sequence is slow, relentless, and unforgettable. This subterranean war, where pythons eat natives and gators eat pythons, shows the messy reality of balancing a fragile world. 14 hours and 55 minutes. From the strategic silence of the crocodile to the raw power of the bison, the wild world is a constant testament to ingenuity, adaptation, and the relentless will to survive. Nothing